Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. If you run a UV printer, you already know that these machines are absolute game changers for customized, high-precision manufacturing. But you probably also know that sinking, stomach-dropping feeling of a ruined print run. You know what I'm talking about. The banding, the missing colors, the machine just suddenly stopping mid-production. Well, today, we're going to transform printer maintenance from this tedious, dreaded chore into a powerful, proactive strategy. A strategy that will extend your printhead life and fiercely protect your profits. Let's dive right in.
Just take a look at these numbers. $300 all the way up to $1,500. That is the massive, completely hidden cost of replacing just one busted printhead. Depending on whether you're running a standard Epson XP600 or a high-end i3200, that is the immediate cash you lose when a printhead dies before its time. And the worst part? That number doesn't even factor in your production downtime, all those wasted substrates, or the panicked phone calls you have to make to clients about delayed deliveries. The financial bleed goes way, way beyond the part itself.
So we really need to make a crucial mindset shift here. We have got to stop looking at a clogged nozzle as just a technical glitch or some minor daily annoyance that you can just auto-clean away. When a nozzle clogs and a printhead ultimately fails, it is a direct hit to your business's bottom line. It is a profit-loss problem, pure and simple, and we really need to start treating it with that level of seriousness.
All right, so here is our roadmap for today. First, the true cost of clogs. 2, why printheads actually fail. 3, the morning maintenance checklist. 4, safe end-of-day shutdown. 5, mastering your print environment. And finally, number 6, maintenance is profit protection.
Starting us off with Section 1, the true cost of clogs, beyond the glitch.
Moving right along to Section 2, why printheads actually fail, the root causes.
You know, a brand new UV printhead almost never fails because of a manufacturing defect. It actually fails because of environmental and operational stress. Clogging isn't just one single issue. It's a whole combination of enemies that operators face every single day. First off, UV ink is literally chemically designed to cure quickly. So if you let it sit idle, it just dries right inside these microscopic channels that are actually smaller than a human hair. Then you have head crashes. If your substrate isn't perfectly flat and securely taped down, the printhead physically collides with the material, and that can instantly crush the nozzle plate. We also see catastrophic failures from power instability. Without a voltage stabilizer, a random power surge can just instantly fry a printhead's delicate circuit board. And here is a totally fascinating, often overlooked cause. If you print on highly reflective materials, think glass, mirrors, crystal, without proper masking, the UV light can bounce right back up and cure the ink directly onto the nozzle plate itself. Crazy, right?
Now, when severe clogging does happen, you might hear about operators resorting to ultrasonic cleaning. This uses a process called cavitation. Think of it kind of like giving your printheads a really intense deep tissue massage. High-frequency sound waves create these microscopic bubbles in a cleaning solution, and when they violently collapse, they blast away dried debris from those tiny internal channels. But please, hear me clearly on this. While ultrasonic cleaning can sometimes save a hopelessly clogged head, it is strictly a rescue mission. Overusing it can so easily shatter the incredibly fragile internal piezo crystals that actually push the ink. Our goal today is to make sure you never, ever let it get to that point.
Okay, Section 3, the morning maintenance checklist, 10 minutes to success.
All right, this right here is your daily action plan to stop disasters before a single drop of ink even touches your material. And the best part? These 5 steps take just 10 minutes. First up, run a nozzle check. You are looking for clean, perfectly unbroken lines across every single color channel. Second, inspect your capping station seal. It should be clean and just slightly tacky to the touch. Let me really emphasize this. A $40 capping station is literally the only thing protecting a $900 printhead from drying out when it's parked. So if that rubber seal is hard, crusty, or cracked, you've got to replace it immediately. Third step, and this is huge, agitate your white ink. White UV ink uses this heavy titanium dioxide pigment that naturally settles at the bottom of the tank overnight. Skipping this gentle agitation step is easily the #1 cause of dense white ink clogs. Fourth, visually check your transparent ink lines for air bubbles. Air bubbles are a dead giveaway that you've got a vacuum leak in your system. And finally, step 5, gently wipe the wiper blade with a lint-free cloth. If you don't, you're basically just smearing yesterday's dried ink right back across your pristine nozzles when the machine does an auto-clean.
Let's move to Section 4, safe end-of-day shutdown, the 5-minute evening routine.
Listen, how you put your printer to bed is just as crucial as how you wake it up. At the end of your shift, you just need to spend exactly 5 minutes doing this. First, run a final nozzle check. Now you might be wondering, why do it again?
Well, because if your test is perfectly clean at night, but it's heavily clogged the next morning, you instantly know your capping station isn't sealing properly overnight. It is the perfect diagnostic tool. Next, ensure the printhead carriage is properly parked and fully seated on that cap to maintain the vacuum. Then, clean your print bed surface with isopropyl alcohol. This removes any stray overspray that could cure and cause a head crash tomorrow. After that, wipe down the UV lamp cover. A dirty quartz glass cover loses its curing power, which means you have to crank up the energy, and that ultimately just shortens the expensive lamp's lifespan. Finally, just throw a physical cover over the entire printer to keep ambient chop dust out of all those precision mechanics while you sleep.
You really don't want to just guess when maintenance is due. You've got to schedule it. Take a look at this checklist from Amazon Printer. It's a perfect example of how the pros track this stuff. Notice how it tracks daily nozzle checks right alongside weekly tasks, like manually cleaning the printhead or carefully wiping the linear encoder. And it goes all the way up to 180-day tasks, like replacing your dampers. Dampers act as these little filters and pressure regulators right above the printhead. They cost maybe $30 to $50 a set, and replacing them strictly on a schedule completely prevents the air leaks that starve and kill printheads. So log your tasks, put them on a physical clipboard right next to the machine, and make it an absolutely unbreakable habit.
Section 5. Mastering your print environment, climate control.
You could do all the mechanical maintenance in the world, literally following your checklists to the letter, but if your room's environment is fighting you, you're going to lose. Here is your absolute golden rule for climate control. Keep it between 20 to 28 degrees Celsius and maintain 40 to 70% relative humidity. UV inks rely on a highly specific, super temperature-sensitive chemical formula. If your shop is too cold, the ink viscosity increases. It gets thick, like literal syrup, and then the printhead has to work so much harder to push it out, which leads to misfires, banding, and early failure. On the flip side, if the humidity is too high, you get dangerous condensation on your delicate circuit boards. And if it's too dry, static electricity will aggressively build up and literally pull microscopic ink droplets completely off course before they even hit the substrate. That's what causes fuzzy edges and ghosting. Control your room's climate, and you guarantee your print quality.
Bringing us to our final stop, Section 6. Maintenance is profit protection, the ultimate ROI. Let's break down the actual math here, because this is where it really hits home. Look at a full year of maintenance supplies. That includes your UV cleaning solutions, a brand new set of ink dampers, a fresh capping station, replacement wiper blades, and specialized lint-free wipes. All of that costs between $200 and $400 total for the entire year. Conversely, if you decide to skip your 10-minute daily routine, just one standard Epson XP600 printhead replacement costs over $300. A high-performance i3200 printhead, that can run you up to $1,300, and that's not even including the technician's labor if you can't install it yourself. The math is just overwhelmingly clear. Proactive care is vastly cheaper and honestly much less stressful than reactive repair.
So I'm going to leave you with this final question. Are you willing to spend just 10 minutes a day to save thousands of dollars and ensure perfect, vibrant prints every single time? Because preventing nozzle clogging isn't just a technical chore. It's a highly strategic business decision that protects your cash flow and your reputation. Start applying this daily checklist tomorrow morning, extend the life of your printheads, and confidently protect your profits. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and hey, happy printing!